A set of family jewels escape from their owner's skin purse in a freak accident involving a razor blade and toxic waste, resulting in a violent rampage by said mutated jewels for the rest of the film. It's amazing what you can find at the bottom of Jeffy Boy's bargain bin. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to stay up to date on all future uploads. We open with two people in badly fitted PPE dumping a barrel of mystery science juice into a river. It's labeled toxic waste, but we later learn that this is actually some kind of radioactive turbo-mutagenic compound that these absolute walnuts casually dropped into the water supply. The barrel isn't even sealed, it immediately starts to smoke and bubble and disperse into the water, and they merrily return to their van. We cut to our couple, Tyler and Lindsay, and I immediately detest Tyler because he is drinking and driving, doesn't appreciate his girlfriend, and is just kind of annoying. Thankfully, we won't have to suffer his existence for too long. They turn a corner in the road with a "Do Not Enter" sign just as the Mystery Science van is leaving, but there's no further signage or a gate or any official infrastructure to keep people away from a toxic waste site. Unless it's an illegal dump site, that's another matter, but then why would they have a sign saying "Do Not Enter"? Why am I looking for logic in a movie about murder balls? Anyway, once our loving couple have set up camp, they quickly take advantage of the isolation to start making out, only for there to be just some guy watching them in the bushes in the middle of the goddamn woods, perving on them. And he's clearly supposed to be some unflattering hick stereotype with not a single thought behind those eyes. It almost looks like Tyler is about to get some head before Lindsay rears back in disgust because the man is a forest down there and hasn't bothered to trim anything ahead of time, despite knowing she hates that. They argue about the fatality rate of blue balls for a minute before Tyler begrudgingly marches off to do some emergency body grooming. This would be a great segue for a Manscaped sponsor.
Just go shave. It's not always about you.
Hey.
It is always about me.
First off, fuck you. Second off, I swear that's a different voice.
Blue balls is a real thing.
Oh, it's a real thing.
Yeah, it is a real thing. It's a medical condition.
It is always about me.
Regardless, he leaves Lindsay by herself to go shave and does it in the least understandable manner possible, wading crotch deep into river water that you don't know what's been in there, with a straight razor and some shaving cream. And this is one of the few times I give the film the slightest bit of credit for an unpleasantly direct transition shot between bush perv jacking off at the side of Lindsay and the shot of shaving cream spraying into Tyler's hand. Good job, movie. Also, fuck you. Of course, the water starts to smoke and bubble around Tyler while he's shaving his downstairs retreat, leading to him getting the mystery science waste on the blade he subsequently nicks himself with when Lindsay screams his name. She could feel the rancid vibes from Bush Perv and got spooked, which Tyler does not treat seriously because he sucks, and quickly moves on from his girlfriend feeling scared that someone was watching her to getting back to boning down, now that he's smooth as a turtle shell. Let's just ignore that he cut himself and how much that bitch is going to sting, and being freshly shaved too, like... I remember a friend telling me back when she still dated men how a guy shaved himself for the first time right before she came over. He immediately regretted it when they got busy because the sensitive skin of a freshly grazed man purse did not react well to being... lubricated? Even if I could, this video is definitely not getting monetized. Nonetheless, Tyler doesn't get that far before his stomach starts hurting. Hurting really badly, like burning hot and forcing him to double over on hands and knees hurting, at which point he frantically screams, "It's in my nuts!" and uses that straight razor to set them free. Naturally, Lindsay is horrified, confused, and shrieking as he whimpers for her to help before kicking it. And then we get to see the disembodied Plum switching to a red-washed point-of-view camera angle from the nuts. The nut cam, if you will. Sure. We're shown an older guy cleaning his axe, perking up at the sound of a woman screaming for help. He takes off running, and we immediately cut to a rancid-looking bathroom listening to some very wet bowel movements as this dude reads a magazine. Toilet Man is promptly slain by the deadly danglers, dragged under the partition to another cubicle. How was he slain? We aren't shown, we just hear a lot of tearing and crunching. Also, I know it's not the point, but that toilet bowl looked spotless for all the gross noises this dude was making. The next target of the temperamental testicles is Bush Perv, penetrating him from behind while he's doing a spot of fishing. Through the chest. It impales him through the chest. With its connective tissue, the weaponized remains of the vas deferens? I don't know, man, it's got tentacles now. Axeman can still hear Lindsay screaming for help, but has thus far accomplished exactly dick and all when it comes to the being helpful department, as he instead comes across what I assume is Bush Perv covered in smoking red sludge that's either material from the sinister swingers, or this man is straight up melting. Either way, Axeman drops his axe and runs away. Axeless Man is then pinned against a tree while trying to hide, covered in a blanket of skin and melted from the neck up. Rest in piss. We cut to a child in the middle of this mess looking for her dog Benjamin, an adorable pup with cute ears, a fluffy tail, and yeah, they let us appreciate that dog for all of a minute before killing it off. Anyway, the child finds Axeless Man dead against a tree with his head completely melted off, leading to a snap of a twig and a freeze frame implying the child has also been put to death by the pernicious plums. Lindsay finally reaches a house and starts banging on the door and windows for help, which she receives none of since the sole occupant of the house, a woman, is sitting in an armchair with her guts hanging out, presumably at some point off-screen, also killed by the balls. And as sad dramatic music plays, we're shown pictures that confirm Axeless Man was her husband, the child was her daughter, and the ominous orbs wanted a quad kill, so she and the dog had to go too. Now, I don't know if the film genuinely wants me to take Lindsay's little emotional breakdown seriously because the vibe is somewhere between meth and ketamine, but they're playing sad music, she's crying, and we're shown cute memories of her and Tyler together, and I have been rendered incapable of feeling anything about it because again, this is a movie about nefarious nuts killing people. Waking up from her little grief nap, Lindsay senses the terror testicles nearby and scurries off to a nearby shed where she finds some hedge trimmers. Sufficiently armed, she marches back out and screams for the nuts to attack her as operatic singing begins. Truly, there are no greater scenes in cinema. She's almost overpowered when it grabs her by the ankle, dropping the trimmers for a fire extinguisher instead, absolutely blasting it with everything she has to give until there's only a tiny remnant left, which she crushes underfoot. Dramatically walking away from the fight, Lindsay finds a public bathroom sink to desecrate with chunks of mutant cojones, making herself only slightly more presentable when she's eventually picked up by a state trooper along the road. At least I think it's a state trooper, I don't think this was an official campground. Anyway, instead of taking this clearly traumatized and bloody woman to the nearest hospital, he drives to their campsite to investigate what happened, leaving her in the car alone. Lindsay then has a dream memory of a sex ed class reminding her of something very, very important.
Behind the penis are two testicles. Two testicles. Two testicles. Two testicles.
Oh shit.
And so, the oblivious officer, having locked Lindsay in the car so all she can do is scream like Meth Man in that one show, approaches the horrible bloody mess that used to be Tyler and gets bodied by the other testicle while trying to radio for help. Which is funny because I was under the impression that it was the pair going around striking people off the census, but I guess one of them just stayed behind and chilled here for some reason? Whatever. Since he obviously had the car keys on him, Lindsay has nothing else to do but fall asleep again, only to be disturbed by a man in a white jumpsuit. And then we take a sharp left turn.
My name is Kyle Lawson, and I'm, or at least I was, the Chief of Research and Development for the Westman Chemical Corporation.
Okay, we're now fully in the kind of POV of Mr. Kyle Lawson, the ex-Chief of Research for generic shady science company, although it seems like he's the ex-Chief of Research, like, as of this event happening that he whatever. Kyle explains that he and his partner dumped a highly radioactive substance, only for said partner to get attacked by the mutant marbles. He apparently tried to go back for the barrel, but considering that bitch was already cracked open when it was dumped into the water, it has long since dispersed. We cut to night as Kyle continues the lore drop. The mysterious toxic waste is a chemical called Noxious X, a material so dangerous the company didn't want to mess with it, so they sent the Chief of Research and some guy to just dump it in a river, in a barrel that was not sealed, instead of, I don't know, sealing it in a fucking vault. Doesn't this guy look a little bit like a bargain version of Patrick Bateman and Albert Wesker had a baby? He further explains that Noxate was created by the company at the behest of the US military, who wanted a way to eradicate foreign enemies without risking their own soldiers, and it was apparently deemed too cruel to use because of how badly it messed up the host. Lindsay is understandably upset at this man for blindly doing what he was told and justifying it with he had a job to do and he was just following orders, a famously airtight excuse when, and I cannot stress this enough, he was the chief of research for this company. But they formulate a plan to deal with the remaining mutant, get back to Carl's lab, grab the fire extinguisher, and kill the damn thing. So anyway, they run into a random roadblock that isn't manned, they get out of the car to move it, and that allows the Terror Testicle to slip onto the roof and kill Kyle. Oopsie daisy. Lindsay runs for it and ends up finding the girl child who somehow managed to get away from the monster. She's pretty scared and just wants to find her mommy and go home, which Lindsay promises to do, keeping her voice sweet and gentle. I'm actually surprised the kids survived. Spoke too soon. Thoroughly over this terrible, no-good, very bad day, Lindsay finds her way into a restaurant calling for help. Of course, there's a single staff member mopping the floor with his AirPods in, so he hears exactly dick all, not Lindsay calling for help, nor the monster slithering up on him. Despite the monster being in the same building as her now, we have time for a prepping montage as our girl ties up her hair, moves some heavy objects, and sets up a trap for Satan's coin purse. She lures the thing to her before using an improvised flamethrower to back it into the walk-in freezer.
Welcome to Blue Balls, motherfucker!
It tries desperately to bust out, but finally, the cold kills it, leaving Lindsay to stare into the camera, understandably a little unhinged and feral from the night's events. And that is how the movie ends. I have nothing to add. What do you say after experiencing this exactly? Other than, you're welcome / I'm sorry for making you aware of this. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a cheeky wee comment, whether it's about the film we just discussed, a film you'd like to see me cover, or to tell me about your pets. If you enjoy my delivery and you're into video games, my main channel has you covered. Don't forget to drink water, take your medication, be kind to yourselves, and I will see you all next time.